Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving headfirst into a digital anomaly that has literally captivated millions of viewers. We're looking at Nick Crowley's massively viral investigation titled Aviloop, YouTube's darkest mystery. So prepare yourselves, because we're mapping out a truly suspenseful, kind of cyber noir narrative today. It's a story that starts out in the brightest, most mundane corners of the internet and just descends into absolute darkness. And this whole interactive digital footprint, well, it starts with a very simple question.
Think about it for a second. What actually hides behind a completely normal aviation business? You know, it's so easy for us to scroll past everyday corporate facades on the internet without a second glance. We do it all the time. But what happens when you peel back the layers of a completely ordinary-looking advertisement and find an interactive, deeply unsettling anomaly just staring right back at you?
Okay, let's dive into this. The source material notes that in August 2011, videos appeared posing as a normal aviation business. What started as a seemingly innocuous ad campaign for a company called Aviloop completely devolved. Users who were interacting with these seemingly harmless commercials quickly suspected something sinister was going on. The content was just deeply unsettling, and it sparked an enduring digital mystery that internet investigators are literally still trying to decode today. To put the sheer scale of this into perspective, we're looking at nearly 3.3 million views as of May 2026. So we're definitely not talking about some fringe theory shared by a handful of people in a dark, hidden chat room. No way. This is a massive, highly visible phenomenon, drawing in millions of focused learners and digital detectives who are all absolutely determined to piece together these fragments. And with 146,000 likes on Nick Crowley's upload, it really proves we aren't just looking at an obscure, forgotten file sitting on a dead server somewhere. This is a highly interactive, actively discussed piece of internet history, curated and dissected by a major internet investigator. The audience here isn't just passively watching, right? They're actively participating in the hunt and validating these findings in real time. I want you to treat these timestamps as our forensic clues, basically mapping our interactive descent. Right at minute 1, we get this friendly corporate greeting. Welcome to Aviloop. Very normal. But jump to minute 19, and a highly specific name drops. Nadia Marcinko. Literally 1 minute later, we get the ominous introduction of someone named Jeffrey. And finally, a last-minute update past the 32-minute mark. This timeline perfectly maps out exactly how the narrative fractures. So as the narrative fractures from a generic corporate website to highly specific individuals, the obvious question arises, who is actually connected to all this? To understand the anomaly, we have to look much closer at the identities tied to the Aviloop facade. The source data explicitly identifies this individual, Nadia Marcinko, listed as a Slovak pilot and flight instructor born in 1986. Now, we're strictly mapping the factual associations tied to the Aviloop network by the digital footprint here. We're just logging these details exactly as they're presented in the investigation to help track the connections within this whole web. But then the timeline shifts drastically. The source text references the disturbing revelation of its creator's identity, and this completely alters the tone of the investigation. This corresponds directly with that sudden, jarring jump to the mysterious figure named Jeffrey we saw earlier. It's a chilling discovery that completely changed the trajectory of the internet search, turning it from a weird oddity into something so much darker. You know, the creator of the investigation explicitly calls this a depraved rabbit hole, and that fits perfectly. It's a complexly bizarre situation where a user just falls deeper and deeper. It's highly interactive by nature. You click one link, then another, and suddenly, wow, you are miles away from where you started, totally trapped in this digital labyrinth of clues and unsettling visual footage. So the crucial point is this stark contrast. This is the core of the anomaly. What starts as a completely normal, boring aviation promo from August 2011 metastasizes over the years into an unsettling, depraved internet mystery by 2026. It just goes to show how a seemingly harmless piece of digital media can mutate over time into a highly analyzed, interactive nightmare. It is absolutely vital to keep this specific context in mind as we evaluate all of this. The source explicitly states, this video includes speculation and centers on a story whose full details are not yet known. We are examining an active, unresolved anomaly here. Think of it like looking through a live visual surveillance feed of a developing story. The creator is completely transparent that the final pieces of this giant puzzle just haven't fallen into place yet. Now, what's really interesting about this is that engaging with this kind of visual investigation doesn't happen in a vacuum. What does the algorithm feed you after watching something like this? The platform actively responds to your interactive footprint. It pulls you further into a highly specific, dark web of recommended content, based entirely on your visual history. Just look at this. It reads like a digital investigator's hacker database. Horrors accidentally broadcast on TV, the most mysterious file on the internet, YouTube's darkest rabbit hole. You can see the creators and the massive multi-million view counts. This is the algorithmic path of true crime and digital horror. Once you interact with the Aviloop mystery, the system actively tries to trap your attention with these similar unsettling files. And the source reveals even more related anomalies hovering in this specific ecosystem. We're talking recommendations for Japan's worst surgeon, the hunt for Lux, the Alcacer girls, and Brooke Shields. By mapping these out, we clearly see the unsettling, glitchy neighborhood of the internet where Aviloop resides. It's a dark, visual curation of human psychology that just keeps viewers clicking. And this brilliantly illustrates exactly what we're talking about. This algorithmic trap proves the sheer demand for this genre. Aviloop sits at an impressive 3.2 million views, sure, but it's surrounded by absolute titans, like The Real American Psycho at 6.3 million and YouTube's Darkest Iceberg dominating at 7 million views. It proves for sure that there is a massive appetite out there for unearthing dark, hidden internet secrets. Going back to the video's own description, we find a pretty sobering realization. This is simply a snapshot of where the story is at now. Combine that with the final chapter marker we explored earlier, that last-minute update at 32 minutes and 11 seconds, and it leaves you with a chill, doesn't it? This isn't a closed case. This digital investigation is ongoing, constantly shifting and updating in real time as more users interact with it. So I want to leave you with this thought. When the internet archives everything, how many more unsettling anomalies are just hiding out there in plain sight? The Aviloop mystery shows us that the most ordinary facades can mask the darkest realities. So keep your eyes open, interact carefully with the digital world around you, and never stop questioning what you see. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and keep exploring.